Welcome back to Bee Loft by Liptech. Today is March 21st, about 1:50 in the afternoon. We're here in the backyard apiary at 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius. Call out to Kenny there in Canada. We have the 4 hives going here. We're going to check all 4 of them, but I'm going to show you this single box. We're going to put an extra box on top of it. We're going to see how it's progressing. We're going to have to put honey supers on in the next couple weeks, but I just want to make sure that they have enough room to expand, see what's going on in there. So stay tuned and we'll get into this hive. So before I pop open this hive here, you see the activity next to it. There's a little activity coming out. There's pollen going in right there, but there's not a ton of activity. Let's see if I can get this. So I don't know how many bees are in there. I'll compare them to the other hives. I might have to move a frame in there just to boost them up a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so let's get on in here. This lid off. This lid looks a little like it's been a little damp. Get that out of the way. My reflect stick's out of there. So yeah, some water has been seeping around the edges here. You can see how wet this is. Got a double screen board on here. I'm going to take that off at the moment. So make sure the queen's not up here on top. He's looking okay there. Set that down. And let's see how well these bees are doing. We'll start out here on the side. Pull this paper off. And so yeah, this is all cleaned out. We have nothing out here on the outside. So not a lot of bees yet. So it's completely got 1, 2. So we got 1, 2, 3. It's like maybe 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 5 seams of bees, so they're about half full. But that could change quickly here, depending on how many eggs we find in here. I'll get some of this newspaper off. Get that cleaned up. Just throwing it on the ground here at the moment. I'll pick it up later. Try not to crush any bees. Every bee is precious at the moment. There we go. Give them a little bit of smoke. There we go. So we got probably put a pollen patty on here. Yeah, there's nothing on that. That's empty. All right, so now we're getting over where there should be some brood. Hopefully there's some food left. Not seeing any eggs in here, but they do look polished. Let me get my magnifying glass out. Should have had it ready, but looks like the bees are eating. A little bit of food left. Let's see here. Yeah, they're nice and polished, that's for sure. You can see down in here, those are pretty polished. I don't know if I can get a reflection in there from the sun. The sun's on the other side, but let's move that over. These bees ate all the sugar feed I gave them. So let's see how good this laying pattern is. This frame here, I marked at 25. That's from last year. So it was a new frame of wax last year. Oh yeah, there we go. There's our, look at all the pollen on that bee right there. Bringing a lot of fresh pollen. Got a good brood pattern. A lot of pollen there. I don't want to mess with these bees too much. Yeah, gorgeous day for them. Empty on this side. So there's plenty of room for them to lay. So what I might do here is do a little manipulation and move these frames over a little bit and see how this outside frame's doing. Try to get the brood more in the middle together. Let's get rid of this next frame. Oh yeah, beautiful. Yeah, look at the big pollen on these bees here. Lots of good pollen coming in. Beautiful. Looks like we might have already had some emergence, a brood. Check the other side, same thing here. Again, great pattern. So, yeah, look at all the pollen on those bees. That's some big pollen baskets. That's excellent. So, let's see here. Put that back in. Just like so. Get over this next frame. Okay, so yeah, this is all empty out here. Oh, I didn't see our queen. She's got to be here somewhere. We're going to have to squish her. So, let's set this back down gently. Try not to stir the bees up too much. Try not to block the camera too much, but it's kind of, I didn't want to have you on the sun side and get shadowed. So I got you behind me here. Pull one more frame out. Yeah, there's still a little bit of honey left there. Yeah, look at they're eating that honey there. Bringing in fresh pollen. Lots of honey there. That's good. I'm going to put that over here just a little bit more the center. Can't tell. Let's see what we got going on in this next frame. Yeah, it's a empty frame. Not real thrilled with that, but maybe they'll draw it out some. So I'm going to leave that there. And I'm going to put these frames back in. Actually, I'm going to slide that off the wall just a little bit. That way I got my beetle trap. I got a beetle trap right here. And then I'll have this other second beetle trap that I'll put over on the outside. Slowly set that down in here. There we go. And I am going to give these bees a little feed and a little artificial pollen just to help them out. I know they're getting a good amount of food, but we could have a small cold snap here in the next couple of weeks. We'll just put a little bit of sugar feed in here. I'll just put the rest of that. Smooth that out some. That'll help that colony. And then I'm going to give them a little bit of this pollen patty here. I don't want to give them too much. I didn't see any beetles, but I don't want to promote beetle growth. So I'm just going to set this right back on top. Set it on top of those bees right by the brood. Let them get that. And then I'm going to put this box right on top of them. So I'll give them more room. Oh, Gotta take my frame stand off. Get that out of the way. Yeah, well, that gives them more room. We'll center these frames. Next time I come back in here, I'll get that beetle trap and I'll stick it up top here. But hopefully these bees can get up in here and clean this up a little bit. But I'm going to check the other hives and I'll come back and let you know how things are going. So I just got in the third hive and I wanted to show you all this drone brood that's going on, and they have a queen cup here. I believe it's empty. I'm going to, I can use this back of this pen. See, I think that's empty. We're just going to open that up, make sure they don't have a swarm cell coming. Yeah, it's dry. That's good. But yeah, this hive is doing really well also. This first hive was doing really well. Yeah, but we got drone brood started here. You can see it all right there. So, and this is March 21st. So it takes 24 days for drones to emerge. I believe it takes them another 2 weeks to mature. So by the middle of April, we should have mature drones and potential swarming. So after Easter, I'm going to have to make sure I get on top of all these hives and make sure that they're split out or make sure they have enough space. So stay tuned. Okay, so I didn't do a lot with the bees today. Just some minor manipulations. This single deep, I put a second deep on it, added some sugar and a small pollen patty just to boost them up a little bit. There's really only about 6 frames of bees in here, 5 seams, but they should be developing up pretty quick. This hive had plenty of food, lots of brood. It's going to be exploding here in a couple weeks. I'm definitely going to have to get some supers on it right around Easter time, maybe the week after Easter. Got to get all my equipment ready for that. This hive here, the third hive, I did make a split on, or not a split, but I reversed the bottom box. I put it in the middle. They were so full of brood, and the bottom was pretty much empty. This top box still has a lot of honey in it, and it had the drone brood. We'll see how that turns out. And then this one here, same thing. I didn't reverse the boxes, but lots of brood, lots of honey in this upper super. So they're looking really good. I'd like to put a queen excluder on it, but I don't know where the queen was. Saw eggs in the hive. Again, lots of brood. So in the next couple weeks, I'm going to have to analyze these and get them split up into, remove some food from them, make a little space for the queen to lay. There's a lot of pollen. I mean, the whole frame of pollen already. Bees are just doing amazing. So we'll wrap it up here today. Got a little news with our dogs. Our dog Peyton was almost 14, and she pretty much died in my arms. I tried to walk her out here on her last day, and she just fell over. She was almost 14 years old, so we had a good life with her. And now we just have Hermie, who's watching the bees and looking for reflections. We can show you a little Hermie here. Hermie, where you at? See, he's looking for reflections. But yeah, sad for Peyton and the family, but she was a good part of our life, and now we can remove some of these barriers that we put up to keep her in the backyard, because she was a Houdini. She liked to dig under the fence, walk over, crawl over the fence. So we had to make some obstacles for her so she couldn't do that. But Hermie's having a good old time back here, and we'll eventually get him a friend here, probably sometime this summer. Thanks for watching Bee Loft by Liptak, and we'll see you on the next video.